Why do you hate me so much? I do everything for you. You're so dirty. What have I done to deserve this? Oh, this is a little embarrassing. How's it going, YouTube? It's Chad. A lot of you probably don't know me, or if you're transitioning from Facebook to YouTube, then you do know me. So, yeah, hi. We are going to talk fish, specifically saltwater fish, coral, reef, all of the fun stuff that goes into maintaining a reef tank and getting pissed off with one numerous times over and over and over and over. It's just one of the things that comes along with having these beautiful creatures that will control your life in ways that you didn't know was possible. You will find out over the course of, good chunk of your life whether this hobby is for you or not. It is for me. Most of the time. Today might not be one of those days. A little pissed, but hey, it's my own fault. So, needless to say, thank you for coming over and visiting the channel. I will be posting weekly updates, trying out a lot of products. Now, just for reference for everybody, the products I try, I buy. I don't have companies that are handing me products, at least not right now. In the future, if you would like to hand me products, by all means, please do. Save me a penny. But I buy them, I try them, I don't like them, they go away. My thought process is that I would rather give accurate information rather than a biased review. So needless to say, today is one of those days. If you've been following me on Facebook, you will know that I have had an algae bloom for quite some time. Now, this tank has been up and running for a few years. I have been in this hobby for better part of decades. Good Lord, I don't know. I think I got my first tank set up mid 2000s, we'll say. I'm not aging myself that much. Anyways, so I've been trying to trace this down. It's driven me crazy. The only thing that has stayed consistent is my salt. It's an odd thing. Nobody would ever assume that your salt could potentially cause an algae outbreak. But it can. It does. So right now I'm using a product called Red Sea Coral Pro. Awesome salt. It has been on almost every tank I've ever used. I started using Red Sea products years ago, and I love them. I'll stand behind their foundation kits and everything. There are a few things that drive me crazy with this salt. The parameters change with every bucket. I get it. It comes right out of the Red Sea. I think they use some form of solar system to evaporate the water, keep the salt and all of the elements inside the salt. Awesome. However, I, as in most everybody who has started a reef tank, started out with Instant Ocean because it's readily available. Every pet store on the planet pretty much carries it. It has nothing in it but salt. And yes, that is my beloved cat that likes to torture my fish. So, hi Athena. Anyways, I don't get it why this product, this particular batch decided to just be an irritating nightmare, but it has been. I have algae that refuses to go away. My water change schedule is religious, to say the least. But every time I do a water change, the algae comes back with a vengeance. Now I'll show you here in a second, but if I move the camera around, you might get motion sickness, so we'll try and avoid that for right now. So I've switched over to Instant Ocean. I'm about to do a water change, and we're going to keep track of this. I'll probably be posting about 1 to 2 updates a week so that we can keep accurate information. I'm going to be testing religiously. Now, the way that I have determined that it is my salt is I have done multiple tests on the tank, my RO, the RODI. It's a 7-stage RODI. I've changed recently to new filters, and I test the buckets when I'm making salt. Now, everything's fine. Alkalinity is where it should be, but the alkalinity is a little on the high side. So when I'm doing water changes and I'm putting this water into my tank weekly, I'm removing a lot of the stuff, the particles, the bad stuff. I'm siphoning from the base and everything, and my alkalinity still continues to rise. Now, I followed the directions precisely to how to mix this particular brand of salt. Alkalinity still through the roof. Used buffers, alkalinity through the roof. No phosphates, no nitrates, no nothing. Granted, it could be that the algae is consuming such a large amount of these elements that it is not testable. We'll see. So we're going to start with a water change, and we're going to start monitoring this, and we're going to figure this out. We're going to nip it in the butt because I'm tired of it. I love my tanks, I love my fish, I love my corals, and I'll never stop. But I want it fixed. So follow along, let's fix it together. You got some input, throw it in the comments. You've got some criticism, throw it in the comments. I might poke fun at you. I do that. If you are on my Facebook, I'm sorry. But if you're not on my Facebook and you want to be on my Facebook, go for it. Just note, I'm not a very PC person, so yeah. All right, let's have fun. Okay, so this is the tank. For those of you that have not watched any of the other videos or Facebook. Anyways, you will notice our lovely algae everywhere, and some Baptasia, which there are nudies in there, so we're hoping that they start to eat and dissolve some of that and get rid of it. But we will figure that out shortly. They're in their spawning phase. Regardless, a lot of you may be like, oh, tank is so dirty, you're obviously not taking care of it. See all this algae? 1 week ago, to the day, 1 week, I did a water change and took a toothbrush to these rocks and a bucket and got all of this algae out. All of it. Every bit. It was all gone. It looked beautiful. However, 1 week, it's back with a vengeance. So, like I said, we're going to switch over Instant Ocean and see if I can just drop everything down. Now, a lot of you may be making the comments of switching to Instant Ocean. There's no minerals, materials, nothing in it like there is with the Red Sea. Granted. However, I would rather dose those elements that I need, my calcium, magnesium, alkalinity, all of that fun stuff, separately, and leave my salt to be exactly how I want it, rather than having a product that gives me all of these things and levels that I don't really know. Because Red Sea has this awesome thing on their website where you can go in, it's called, I believe, My Batch. And you could go in there, put in the batch number, and it will tell you about your particular batch of salt. Now, what worries me is that changes batch to batch. It's never the same. So that being said, I want to keep things where I want to keep things. not wherever that particular batch is going to put it. So I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to do a water change, and we'll get it from there. Just for a quick walkthrough, since a lot of you may not have watched the previous videos or on my Facebook, let's go ahead and take just a quick gander at what we're doing here. But anyways, under the sump, or under the tank, this is the sump. I am currently running Bubble Magnus Curve 7 skimmer, which I'm running a little wet right now on purpose to try and siphon out a good chunk of this. I did just recently start using bio balls, and that was mostly just to trap the algae. Now I am cleaning these weekly. This isn't something I would recommend for the faint at heart, because when you're trapping those detritus and algae particles and everything into there, you're actually just creating this nitrifying bacteria that's going to flow throughout your system because it's all breaking down in those balls. So I don't traditionally recommend it. The reactor over here running just pure carbon. I'm not running anything else in there at the moment. I was running GFO, but like I said, I've got, not traceable elements of, any phosphates, anything in my system, so I stopped utilizing it. I have had people in the past tell me, oh, you should get, UV algae killer or a algae scrubber, things like that. I'd rather kill the problem at the source than finding a temporary band-aid. So that's just my thought process. A lot of people stand behind those products, and don't get me wrong, they're great products. They're just not for me. So that's below the tank. Above the tank, we've got the Hydra 26 HDs. Love them. I am currently running the J-Bows, or J-Bows, J-Cods, however you want to say it, however they want to pronounce it this week, since they change their name so frequently. But regardless, they work really, really well. I've yet to have killed them, and if I do, whoop-de-doo, they're like 50 bucks. Behind, I am running, the Apex system, all that fun stuff. This isn't really a walkthrough video. I apologize. I just figured you guys would want to know. Whatever is what it is. But yeah, I'm going to do a water change. I'll be back in a moment, and we will see how it goes. Sorry for the lighting change. The camera just doesn't want to function properly for changing of colors and all that fun stuff. Anyways, be back. Alright, step one. Clean power heads. The scraper. Yeah. More to come. Still got more cleaning. Be back. And we're back. So that's like literally the quickest water change in history, right? So sorry I didn't do a time lapse or anything for you. It's a water change. There's not really much to it. You drain water, you put water in. I guess I should note that the way I mix salt is I'll put the salt and the RO water in the bucket typically the night before determined water change, and I'll put heater power head into the bucket and let it heat up to the correct temperature, in my case 78 degrees, and then I'll check salinity. Now this time, because I am running a pretty high salinity at the moment, I am 0.26, I believe. So I'm dropping it down by a bit. So this time the reef crystals, or the instant ocean, it's just regular old instant ocean, not even reef crystals. That I did notice that compared to the Red Sea, the instant ocean, I typically will do 5 half cups, and that comes out to a perfect salinity of 0.25. But with the reef crystals at 5 half cups, the same, it actually came out to be 0.21. So it is a slight difference, and I'll be making some adjustments, but I am trying to drop the salinity down just a hair, and then it will be fine from there. So tank's looking a lot better. As you can hear, I've got the silencer out of the drain line to allow any of the big particles of algae to flow down into the sump, where later tonight I will be cleaning the bio ball algae trap, we'll call it. And then that way we can hopefully get a lot of these chunks and everything out of the tank. Now, it does look a lot better. It seems like everybody's going to be a little happier, hopefully. Maybe not the lawnmower Bellini, because he really likes the algae. But he's not eating enough of it. So I'll show you the tank real quick, and then I'm going to bail out of here, and I'll catch you later this week. Okay, after the water change. Woo, happy clowns. Everybody's a little stressed out right now, but it's to be expected. I scraped off as much as absolutely possible, but you can never get it all. And then, yeah, it's just disgusting. But we're gonna see if changes to the salt are gonna make a change to the system. I did scrub out power heads and went ahead and scrubbed skimmer and all that fun stuff. So we've got, you know, some work to do. But if we take a look down in here, we can see all the algae coming through. And it's just gross. It's seriously gross. So hopefully we will make enough of a dent in the algae that we can kill it and get rid of it. And if you live anywhere near me, by the way, I am in Issaquah, Washington, and you would like some xenia to take over your life like mine has, drop me a line. It's free to whoever wants as much of it as you want. There's multiple species in here, and they drive me crazy. So if you want xenia, hit me up. Other than that, I'll see you later this week. Have fun, be safe, and enjoy reefing.